Come here, buddy. Come to me. No.
Ruby and I are headed over to the sawmill to pick up as much 1x12 rough sawn lumber that we can fit on my dually. This is the issue. I need at least 12 footers, and most of the time they only have 16 footers, which means there's going to be a lot of waste, and I always hate that. So on top of that, I can't haul that long of lumber on the dually, and I don't want to pull my trailer down the road right now. So we're just going to have to make it work. Right, Ruby?
If ever that day comes around, if I get my feet on the ground and make Bonnie my wife, and we'd rob this whole town, maybe take all that money, get a boat and sail down, down where the blue, blue waters flow. Yes, this is a place I would go. We might get ourselves lost, we may never be found, if ever that day comes around. Did need a home, so let's shoot up this town, let's run through the night and take down that boat and lead a runaway life where the blue waters flow. Oh, this is the place we will go, and we'll be thick as thieves, run off, you and me, 'cause boy, we were put here to roam. We might get ourselves lost, we may never be found, if ever that day comes around.
I managed to make it back from the sawmill without any issues with the load, thank goodness. This is enough 1x12 rough sawn lumber to get the goat barn finished and maybe get a start on the underground chicken coop. It is green cut and it's about 3 degrees today, so this wood may move around a little bit as it dries out. So this is the fun part of the project where it actually starts to take shape. Because we still have the old chicken coop in place, and because this is our first year going through winter, we can now see that there may be a need to move some snow around to give the animals the adequate room that they need over winter. Maybe I have a little small skid steer with some chains on it in my future. Although I feel like I just went through that with that other skid steer I had. Maybe a little small, lightweight, narrow skid steer to move some snow around when the snow slips off the roof and the goats lose that little bit of room that they need so much. I can remember as a kid, back in the 80s, when skateboarding was incredibly popular. My older brothers decided to build a skateboard ramp, and they would end up building a couple of them, but at some point in time we ended up with a small mini ramp half pipe in our backyard. And when I was probably 6 or 7 or maybe even 8, I would wait until my older brothers were not around. Then I would find the nearest hammer and as many nails as I could possibly find. And I would start the process of driving nails in all of the places that I felt their ramp needed nails. Now at some point in time, one of my brothers came home from a construction job site with a bucket of nails. And that bucket of nails meant that a Mountain Dew infused enthusiasm for the art of driving nails would go on for hours and hours and hours. I would end up putting so many nails into one section of the plywood in that skateboard ramp that it basically ruined the plywood and it became a soft spot in the ramp. So my motto of put another nail in it was developed early on in my life. Stinking goat. I don't have the ability to paint or to write poetry, but I express myself through the things that I build. And when these projects turn out the way that I envision them in my head, it feels good. There is something way deep down in my DNA that says this is a good thing. This is a good skill to have, that you can do these things. When something turns out the way that it was supposed to, there's a slight bump in the confidence, as well as a little bit of self-respect, I suppose. And the hope is that you might develop these skills and share these skills with somebody younger than you at some point in your life, and maybe they might find the same enjoyment that you did when you worked with your hands and created things. You bring me some city-living college kid that's never touched a power tool in his life, and maybe that city-living college kid works alongside me for a few hours, and he runs the skill saw, and maybe he drives a nail or two. And I promise you, at the end of that project, that person will stand back and feel completely different in a positive way, because that person realizes he is capable of much more than he was aware of. The second that we as individuals step out of our comfort zone and do hard things, the ideas in our head become limitless, and we believe in ourselves, and we strive to do better things. It just comes with the territory. Maybe you could build your own house. Who knows? Come on, come on.
This rug that we ordered online has been the death of me since the minute we got it. Since online we thought it was like red and navy blue. We get it home, unwrap it, and it's like more like a purple and pink. And I wasn't really crazy about it. So
probably shouldn't have bought a rug online. That's what it comes down to. The corners won't stay down to save our lives. And we actually went out together today and we actually agreed on something. So we're going to take this rug out, put the new rug down.
We're putting this one up at the cabin.
Yeah, this one will go perfectly up there at the cabin. Little shake, little shake. Shake it. Pull back towards me. Okay, let's go up on the couch. I think it goes perfect. We just need to get rid of this thing.
Yes. I really like this new rug. I'm glad we got the change. I hope it lasts longer than the other one. I definitely like it better than the pink and purple, so we're good to go for a few months, right?
Well, hopefully it lasts longer than that.
Yes, hopefully longer than that.
I like this one a lot better. Hey, last night I noticed that the water tank level, the indicator on my phone where I can check the water tank level, was low. I knew we had enough water to get through the night last night. My goal this morning was, first thing before I started working on the goat barn, was to run down, fire up the backup generator for the shallow well, and get the well pumping. When I got down there, I saw an indicator light on the control box that controls the shallow well. I saw an indicator light that I've never seen before, and I had to get up close to figure out what it was. And the indicator light said, "Shallow well is low." Okay, so part of this system has a float that as the water level goes up and down, that float moves. If that float goes all the way down and it thinks the well is empty, it shuts the pump off. So that's what's happening right now. If there's not enough water in the well for water to pump, we're in a tight spot. I have the pump set up quite a bit off the ground. I could adjust that pump if I have to, but this is not the time of year where the well should be going dry. We got snow on the ground. Snow's melting. There's water seeping into the ground right now. The last thing should be a well that's dry this time of year. A well would typically go dry in the fall if we were going to have issues with it. So my hope is that there's either something going on with that float switch. That's all I'm hoping for. because it genuinely, if we are out of water, I don't know what we do. I really don't know what we do. So I'm gonna run down there and slide that big heavy lid off. I was literally on my way out to work on the goat barn and get it finished up when I remembered to check my phone to see how the water levels were, and it's a good thing I did, because had I waited a whole lot longer, we would have had a rough night without any water. As often as I find myself going down into this well, I really should reconsider the lid that I have on top and make it a little bit more accessible. We are about to find out if we're out of water, and I don't think we are. But hopefully I can do this without dropping the camera in the drink. We got plenty of water. It's kind of cool looking at it like this. Crystal clear, probably, that right there is probably 1,000 gallons of water or more. I can see there's a little tension on that float indicator, which means I'm going in the well, which I was hoping I didn't have to do that, but it looks like I'm going in the drink. Before I go down in the well, I wanted to make sure all the connections up here were okay, and as I was inspecting the wires, I found a little nick in one of the lines that I decided to repair. Doggone it, it tried to turn the pump on, and then the shallow well light kicked on. Now it means I'm going down in the hole. Okay, I managed to get a hold of one of the technicians with Rural Power Systems, I believe it was Andrew, and he told me I was on the right track. Because it's flashing right now, I just need to reset the system, that there's likely something wrong with that float level indicator, and that I can simply wire nut it together, bypass it for tonight, get water pumping, and then I can order whatever parts I need after that. So I'm going to jump back up there and see if this fixes the problem. Okay, low power, so now it just doesn't quite have enough sun, so I'm going to turn the generator on and see if that fixes it. Okay, I'm waiting for the pump light. Okay, there's the pump light. Now I'm waiting for the third light down. It says MPPT. Once that starts flashing, I know the pump is pumping and I can have a hot shower tonight. Bam. Okay, so now I know there's nothing wrong with the pump. It's likely that float level indicator, but we're pumping water. So I'm gonna slide the concrete lid back in place and go let the wife and kids know that we get hot showers tonight. It seems there's always something in our life like this that takes me from one project to another but ultimately I'm grateful I have the time to do this. My gratitude is to you guys that take time to watch our videos. Thank you. It is about 2 degrees outside, maybe even a little lower than that. The generator ran all night, filled up the water tanks. I just now need to switch it back over to the sun, to the solar panels, now that we're caught up. Okay, we are good to go. Let me just confirm that by a flashing light, although the solar panels have a little bit of snow on them. We got about an inch of snow last night. Come on, baby. All right. We are back online. We've got water. Hopefully I don't have to mess around with that shallow well for a while. And I can get the chicken coop and the goat barn finished. That's the plan anyway.
I was looking forward, weirdo. I was fucking long.
Bandit.